All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 7. So, yesterday we started looking at Python functions. Just in case you were not in yesterday, we started looking at functions, and I told us that function is one of the principal components in programming generally, which is used to group code. I will also look at the syntax, how we can define function in Python using the keyword, the def. So I gave us an assignment to go and sort out that we have on the screen. So what we expect is that we are trying to develop an app that we receive 2 different number as input from the user, and then add the numbers together and produce a calculated result. But we discovered that after running the code, we discovered that the function was only concatenating instead of performing the arithmetic calculation. And I remember that some time ago, I think that would be the 2nd or the 3rd class, I explained a topic called what? Data conversion. How you can convert what Python sees as string to integer so that it can use it to perform calculation. So for that reason, I wanted to mandate us to go and revisit that class to see how we can use the knowledge derived from that class to be able to debug this. And debugging is part of programming. So we should be expecting more of this so that we can be stretched. We can increase our thinking ability. That is one thing that you must learn from this training, even though you don't want to learn anything. Let it be that after this training, your ways of reasoning changes in every aspect of life. You end up becoming, or you should become, someone who knows how to analyze challenges and provide solutions. That is who programmers are. So before others join, I think I asked before if we have anybody who has been able to debug it, and then I got a response from 2 different persons. I think one from Mr. Yomi and then the other from Mr. Messi. So for those of us that are
Hello,
just,
hello,
yeah,
sir.
I can hear you. If I,
I think my earpod is giving problem. Well, I still make some
oh,
attempt as well. Anyway,
okay. So, but the attempt, were you able to get the expected results?
uh, anyway, kind of.
Okay, good. Now let me start from Mr. Yomi. So, Mr. Yomi, please can you share your screen? And please, if I approve what the research, it means we will just adopt it. So what we want to do now is to hover on what each of those of you that attempted did, and then we know those that did wuru to answer that cannot be approved as a standard, and those that did the right thing. So once I approve that one, you are expected to copy it from your end as a solution so that we can move on to the 3 apps I want us to develop tonight. Okay, so Mr. Yomi, please, can you quickly share after Yomi, I'll be coming on Messi. I hope she's joining with her laptop today. and then followed by Mr. Ifeanyi. So, Mr. Yomi, if you can hear me, go ahead and share your screen. I think we are on your screen now. All right. So, can you explain the code? Remember, remember I said, do not just go and ask ChatGPT. You should be able to, seek explanation. So, just teach us for a few seconds how you got it so that others can learn. So, the class is over to you, Mr. Yomi.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I did it in a two-way form. The one I use at the VS Code, I didn't put these particular numbers there. I start from this number one underscore string. But what I did was that when I first got to this level, and I discovered that this particular print, when I checked the lecture we had yesterday, then I put this one and I run. And when I run it, I was like, I didn't see what I supposed to got like 150. I did it like 3 times until I got to this place. I was reading enter first integer, enter second integer. What is this? And I put my cursor here and then put 70, click enter. And I saw it. At the same time, put 80, click enter. Immediately, I just got my answer as 150.
Okay, so if I may just add to the explanation of the code that is currently showing us, num_1 was stored as a string because I can see that, okay, like he said, he just borrowed that one from the concept he used in VS Code. So because if this particular one I'm seeing here, num_1, as far as that is concerned, that 70 and 80 will be recognized as tests because of the presence of the quotations. Now, let me take it from where he says num1_string input. So he receives a value from the user as the first one, and he stores it in that num1_string variable. Then num2_string, he receives another value from the same user, and then that value is stored in that variable. And then it now has, I think from what I'm seeing here, so he has received the value and stored them in the respective variables, but he now decided to start converting them before printing the outcome. That is what I'm seeing here. And he retained the same name of the variable, but this time around and use the conversion constructor, which is the integer, and then supply this the num1 string again. Okay, there's a little difference. I can see difference. I think the new variable where it's converting the string to number, he used num_1. So, okay, just to differentiate and supply the two variable that must have collected the string value. And then he now stored them, perform the calculation in line 25, where he created another variable called results and pass in those converted values again. And then before printing, using the string printing method by saying that input num1 and then plus what num2 equals to, this process is a very long one. Mr. Yomi, you want to kill our brain, no? Since you have already assembled them in results, you will have just a print results because the calculation will have been done under what? Results. I don't know if you can get me. Are you with me? The answer has been calculated and stored in results. So once you print result is expected to give us the addition of those things you are recalling, so that can. So
okay, there's no need of putting all these ones.
No, because the calculation has been done under result. When you said num_1 plus num_2, knowing that you have already converted them to integer, so you are supposed to print results. Can you just try it for us now? Let's see if we are going to get the same result. Let's see if it will mandate us to go through this. You are printing just results. Okay, so run the code. Let's see. Running? Are you running it? Or you've run the code already?
Yes.
Okay, you say
same thing. Now you ask for first.
Yes, enter it. Let's say just take your random numbers. You know, it's not supposed to be fixed number. You can put any number. Yeah, press enter. Let's say. Okay, second integer. Hit your enter. Perfect. So you can see you can actually reduce the length of your code. All right. So we are taking notes of those that are doing well in the class. There's a way I can reward. I may not reward you with money. I can reward you with a program. So let's just see how it goes. I'm really encouraged with the attempts some of us are making. So let's quickly go to Miss Mercy. I think you also, after Mercy, I'm coming to Mr. Ifeanyi. So I believe Mercy, if that was not the logic he used, must have also learned from his own. Let's learn from each other. It's very important. Okay, so Mercy, go ahead. Am I on Mercy's screen now, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so go ahead and explain to us what you did.
Okay, yesterday, before the end of the class, you gave us a hint. You said if we go back to our previous notes and we go to data type conversion, we should be able to solve it. So after the class, I tried like multiple times. I was trying to make use of the string, but I was getting some errors. Then I was like, okay, fine. Since it is integer, why not I should put the integer on both sides, which is the number 1 and number 2, because the input is enter first number and then enter second number. So when I put the integer on both sides and I run it, it asks me for my first number, which I imputed, which is 40, and the second one was 80. And then when I press on enter, I got my final result. Though Mr. Yomi's zone is quite it's correct, but the calculation is very long. I didn't go through all this. So
which calculation is long? Did you get the expected results? That's what 40 plus 80. That is 120.
No, I'm talking about Mr. Yomi's calculation.
Okay,
not mine.
yes. No, that is why I said that is the reason why I say I want everyone to share the idea. So you can now, Mr. Yomi, you can take her own. Her own is very simple. And then you can also take Yomi own. That is programming for you. That's programming. So when you see some people's app that are very slow, now you begin to understand what is happening. Some persons does not reduce the volume of their code, and that we unnecessarily keep the program too busy. That is why you see that some apps are very slow, while some are very fast. It depends on how the programmer defines his or her code structure. But it's good. You can see that if I want to say this, yes, Mr. Yomin's steps were longer than your own, but I don't know if what I want to say is justifiable. I will tell you that Mr. Yomi actually did more debugging than you. Because for him to, you can see the logic he went through, take this one, convert it here, start printing it. So he has more debugging skill than you. That is problem solving. So if Mr. Yomi is employed tomorrow and they give him a complex problem to solve, and they give you that same complex problem, you will easily give up that, Mr. Yomi. That is the benefit of him going through order. Though your own is correct, but in terms of experience that must have been gathered, differ. But it's okay. So let's switch our knowledge. So let's go to Mr. Ifai. Thank you also very much, Mrs. Mercy. Also encouraged by making that attempt. Okay, let's take this one person and then we go to the main business. But we don't use the whole time assessing what we have learned. Coming on.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning in advance.
Okay. Yeah. Although my code is a little bit simple, but I got what I get the result I'm looking for anyway.
Okay.
So what I did here is because when I check that your first code, like the error I'm seeing there is just collecting of tests together. That is the error I saw in the first code.
Okay.
So now when I came to the debugging, I added the integer.
Good.
Inside I added integer.
You added input.
Then I added
input.
input.
Added input inside integer.
I added input inside integer.
Okay.
Then enter first name, enter first number.
Okay.
Then I added another input again inside integer. Enter second number.
Okay.
Then I went ahead and say print
the numbers.
Number 1 plus number 2. Then I call. When I call, it told me to enter first number.
Okay.
Which is I put 30. Then it told me again to put enter second number. I put 50. Then when I enter, I got the result to be 80. So I think that's what I did.
Yes, yes. So this is another shorter way. So you can see this is how people are solving different problems from different perspectives, and that is earning them money. So you can see that this is also a very good shortcut, because if you look at the logic here is that instead of collecting the string before converting it, so this young man decided to be collecting and converting at once and just print direct. So this one is not even shorter than Messi one. Or are they the same? Are they the same?
I think almost.
Yes, but I've seen this being shorter than yes, it's almost the same anyway. All right, so I also appreciate Mr. Ifai. Keep it up. I think I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged. All right, so now let's quickly go into the main business. So since we have sorted this out, let me just clear it up so that we can go into assignment. So what I promised us in this section is to look at how we can build real life scenarios where we can use function concept that we have learned to build solution, which is known as app for, let's say, a company or an individual or even yourself. So let me tag today's class as what? Simple, so that I don't think that they are advanced Apple. I also want to start developing OP. They are simple app development. Simple app development. Right? So that is the topic for tonight. So we are just going to be developing apps. We are not bringing in a new topic. So this will enable us to actually understand, to deepen our knowledge on what we learned yesterday as Python function. So when you want to develop an app, like I kind of stylishly explained to us yesterday, that there is a flow chart. You need to understand the problem. Every app is a solution to someone's problem. And as we all know, If you want to make money, legit money, then you look for problem to solve. People who solve problem are people who are earning. So when you hear somebody saying that tech is trending, I want to go and make money, some of them are entering it with wrong concept. You need to, that is why you register for a program like this, because you want to learn how you can be a solution provider to numerous what challenges out there. So I will first of all capture the problem, and then I will now walk us through how we want to solve it. So when you want to develop any app, you have to sit down, identify the niche. What is that app going to attend to? There were a lot of issue of people queuing in the bank hall those days. Some persons have to start fighting themselves to be on the queue. I believe every one of us here must have experienced that, just to get your BVN, whatever, register. But if you go there today now, those long queue has disappeared. Why? Because why people were fighting in the bank hall? Somebody that want to make money was just calculating. If I come up with a fintech app like OPay, like MoneyPoint, like Paga, I will make money. Somebody look at that problem and went in and developed an app. The moment back got the app, you see them today, they are all what? Diving into it. Almost 80% of bank operators today have mobile app. So that is, I'm just trying to give us a picture. So if in the future, after this training, you want to be an app developer, then you need to know that there is an algorithm that you need to follow. There is a step-by-step. And one thing about this is that once you are able to identify the problem, that will now inform you the strategy, and then the strategy will now inform you the right function. Because we are going to learn different functions. Next weekend, we are going to look at another advanced function, which is what? Python control structure. Then you now begin to see more advanced way of, writing advanced function. So the task here, just to qualify what I just explained, what is the task? The task is that we have to define a function just to make the work faster. So I will just dictate. If you are writing, you just write. Define a function. Okay, let me try. I think I can write fast a little. So define a function that takes a score as inputs. So the app we are trying to develop is like an app that can help a school to calculate student grade. For example, now the school must have, defined what the score for excellent, the score for pass, or let's say grade A, grade B, whatever. And then we want to check. So once we have a student scoring 80 and we type that 80, the app should be able to tell me the student what grade. That is the app. Like I said, we are growing from a simple app to what? Intermediate, right? And to advance. So now that is going to be the first task. So I'm going to look at means to collect the score, because we are saying that we should define a function that takes score as input. So after I've achieved that, I will now say, okay, return the corresponding grade. That is, once the app receives the score, it will return to me. If it receives like 70, it will return to me that the student grade is what? Is grade A or is grade B? So I'll say, okay, after you have received it, then return the corresponding, return the corresponding grades. So the grade that we want to program, let's say whatever grade the school must have given you, we have grade A, we have grade B, we have grade C, and then we have grade D, and then of course we have grade F. Of course, you have already know those that can be classified as what? Grade F. So that is going to be the second task. So this is the flow chart now. So as a programmer, I know that, oh, I'm going to use input to collect it, and then I'm going to use if statement or elif statement. Though this is to like scratch the surface of the topic we are going to look at in the next class, but I'll be able to explain the aspect of it that will be needed just for us to be able to create this app. Now, the next task is going to be then take users inputs. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me just type. I was supposed to type it. Take user inputs for scores and print the grade. So this is the structure of the app. Now, to implement the app, the first one said that you define a function. So remember yesterday, we've already learned that what function definition starts like this. The what is a function name? The function is what? Calculate grade. Remember, I told us something yesterday that the naming of your function should be as a result of what you want to do. So this function is to calculate grade. So I will say what? Calculate underscore grade. Then remember the structure. And then this function is a function that is receiving, that is going to receive an input. Because remember the second line, that what? It will take it and what? Return the corresponding, which means that what? You have to create what? A parameter. And the parameter should be score. Remember yesterday, last section. So this is a function with what? Parameter. Definitely once your function has parameter, then it will require what? Inputs when you are calling the function. So we go down. Now I am bringing a conditional statement. That is where control structure comes in across all programming. You are telling Python that, okay, there are possibility of somebody entering 90. There is also a possibility of somebody entering 70. So you are not sure of what the person will enter. So that is why you are bringing a conditional statement that will always check the exact grade or value the user will enter. So how do you communicate that in program? It's called what? If statements. So I will say if, remember, if the parameter, which is what? Score. If the parameter, which is what? Score, if score given is greater than or equals to. Remember, those of us that have done advanced Excel, you know that we must have done something like this. Now, if it's greater than 90, you are creating a range so that if somebody enter a value that is greater than 90, let's say 91, 92, which means that your grading is 10, 10, 10, 10 numbers interval. From 90 to 100, we have what? The possibility of user entry what? 10 different numbers, including the 19 itself. So we are saying that what? If somebody enter 91, 92, 93. So how do you now put a colon here because it's a preceding statement. You have not ended. Then you now go down and say what? Return. Return is a keyword which is like print, but it's going to return the grade. Then your print will now what? Output it. So return is another keyword we can use in the place of what? Print. Now we have it across almost all the programming. Return what? You quote that grade. So the grade is A. So you are through with this set of persons using the if statement. Now, because you are still, because there could be another option. What about if the person did not enter any value within 90 to 100. Can't you create room for them? Or what happened? Because somebody can enter 70. Somebody can enter 80. So what should Python output? So you will now go to the next line and say elif. Elif is also a conditional word statement. Elif, that is, you are creating multiple options. That is where we bring word elif. But if I want to create just two options, so I will have said what? If S. All right? So just make sure that you do not miss next week kind class or classes. So that is where I'm going to deal with what control structure. And of course, if you don't understand control structure as far as programming is concerned, you are not a programmer. You will not be able to program anything. So now, elif is for multiple word options. That is why we are using what? The elif concept. So elif, because I want to declare another grid. I want to create another range of grid. So I will say elif, so I will reference the same score again. Elif, right, greater than or equals to 80, right? This is another range. So I will go down. I say for between 80 to 90, you have another 10 word interval. You can do your own 5 interval. You can do your own 2 interval. So if you are creating this solution for school, so that if the principal, whoever is in charge, wants, maybe the parent come and the parent want to know the child grade, once you get the score from the teacher and then you type it, you should be able to know what the right grade. So return, we are using the return again. Return what? Return for this, return B, grade B. Return grade B. So we are through with this. Then you now do another elif because there are other options. So we are grading the student from the top until we get value for F9 based on the different grade that we have already pointed out in the comment section. So I'll do another elif. I'm still making reference to score as the factor for knowing the grade to be outputted. Are greater than or equals to, and then this time around we are looking at what? 70, and then return. So once you get the structure, it's very simple. Return what? This time around I am returning C. All right, so the same thing, elif again. Elif, make reference to the score again as a parameter. Then greater than, or you can use less than as well. You can just use what? Just equals to. So depending on how you want to construct the app. So score, let's look at 60 this time around. So 60, and then what do we want to return for 60? So return which grade? Return D. All right, then elif again. Now, this is one thing I want you to understand. Now, once you have gotten to the one before the last one, you just bring in what? S. You don't have to go through what? Elif again. So you now say S, then S. So you are creating room for those scores that will be allocated what? F9. S, return what? F. All right? So which means that what? This if, all right? All these ones, they are like sub-if because you needed to define what? Multiple what? Option. So now, anytime you are dealing with this function, it has two values, true value and false value. True value and false value. That is why it's called logical what? Function. Logical function. So which means that what? All these are true values. The only false value here is this. So which means that the program will, if you type any value, the program will assess the true value first. If none of these two values meet the criteria, before it will call this. That is the logical order of running this program. Now, The next thing is that now we have to print. So you go down and then you type what? Now you can see the reason why I gave us that assignment, because the value that you are going to return, you have to convert them to what? Floats data type. And let me ask, you now understand integer, you now understand string. I want somebody to unmute and tell me what is called float number. We cover this also from the beginning.
Float number and number with points.
Can somebody tell us the reason why we should not take integer?
Float numbers are number with decimal units.
Good. I'm asking the second question. Why is it that we must convert the input to float instead of what? Leaving it at integer? What problem do you think? What problem are you envisaging? Are you foreseeing that will happen? Somebody who can answer this question. Next class, you send me your accounts. I will buy the recharge card for you. Remind me, if you are the one that answered it.
Come again with your question, sir.
The question is, the way we are programmed it now, the values that will be received will be integer because they are all, hope I'm not, it's like I want to give the clue. Let me try and not give the clue. What you program here now, you say that, okay, if you want to check for grid, you have to enter what? Whole number. And now I am saying that we cannot go with what? Integer. We have to convert this to float because we are foreseeing a number that could be entered that will generate error, that will not be read as integer. So why do we need to convert the score to floats instead of leaving it as integer? That is the question. You can prove it. If you can prove it, can anybody try? No idea? Please, if there's no idea, let me continue. Okay, so let me assume that no idea. Now look up. Then I will not ask you, if somebody enter, if a student score is 90.5, what will happen? So you can see the reason why we need to convert to float. Precious, come and all right, guys, hope you are still here. Sorry, if you can hear me, do I have a response now? It's like my network. I was asking the question before. I don't know whether you got it.
Yes, we are. Okay. Okay, go ahead with your question, sir.
So the question is that, what about if somebody want to check his or her grade and the grade happen to be 19.5? Would that be captured?
Yes.
Because it will not be captured now with the way you have written it. There's no room for floats. You only created room. Look at this. You did not say if score is greater than or what? 19.5. Did you put anything like that? No. All the grade, they are all what? Integer. But you and I know that we need to convert, need to know how to convert the integer to what? Float. Because there are possibility of somebody entering 90 points or 80 points. So to do that, that is why I want to write the next code. So I will now say test score. In case there's score, test score, which means that what? Take integer, then convert them to floats. So this is another data conversion, just like the assignment we just submitted. So inputs, and then we write this. Now we just have a way of telling them what to do. So enter what? Students, enter student score. Enter student score. All right. Then what we have said is that if you receive an integer, convert it to what? To floats. All right. So that if you have, if you enter anything like 19 points, 70 points, it will be able to what? To convert it and display the output. Now, we will now finally say print. This is the last line of code. Print, we are using Python string printing, F, because we want to add a description. Print what? Grade. Print grade, column. Then you call the name of the function in the calling bracket, which I've explained to us yesterday, which is what? Remember that is a function, and you must call the function. So this is how we are calling it. We are calling the function with the print. So we'll not simply say what? Print. What's the name of the function? Calculate. So I will just call it. Calculate what? Then the parameter, remember that we created a function with a parameter that need input when we are calling it. And what is the input? The value that will be stored here, the value that you must have collected. That's why we are supplying the variable that could have been holding the collected value. That, okay, take the input from this variable. Then the input will have been converted to float. So I will just type what? Score inside here. All right. So now, if I run this code now, let's see whether we get our output correct. Right. So it's asking me, let me see. Am I running current file at all? Okay. So let me see. Let me be sure. Let me comment. I want to reduce the outputs. Let's see. Let me see. What do I have here? Trying to.
Can you check the column after this score?
Where? After the what?
The score. Enter student score. Then the column is too far.
Is it here?
There is backspace there.
Where is it?
No, like 138.
Line 38. See line 38 or
138. 138.
138. Okay. Okay, here. Okay. Are you saying that I made? Okay, okay, yes. I think it was a indentation issue. It was indentation issue. Good. So you can see what I was talking about yesterday. So now enter student score. Let's say I enter 90 and I press enter. You see it return what? Grade A. So let me run it again and run, let's say student score 90.5, and then it return what? The same grade A. So exactly. Now let's take note of the indent now. You can see that what? The indent was the issue. That's why I said the code was not reachable. So I'll give us 10 minutes, everybody, to replicate this. And then when we come back, we proceed to the second app. I'm targeting 3 different apps tonight if we are fast with the classwork. So you can start now. So let me leave this session so that we can see it. Be back the next 10 minutes.
Print. That's where we have 90.5 as our enter student score here. That will give us A. If it is 19.6, it will still give us A. 92.2, it will give us A. And so on and so forth until you reach 100. or more than that.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Yomi. So I actually asked him to explain that for the sake of those that are just keen in. So let's quickly go to Mr. Ifeanyi. Please, can you, Mr. Yomi, you can unshare. Thank you very much. Mr. Ifeanyi, please, let's see what you have done as well.
Okay, I'm sharing, sir. Yes, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
This is a student grade app that I just designed some few minutes ago. Like clearly looking at this app, you can see my Python def calculate grade. Like, okay, I put my def, then calculate underscore grade in brackets score. Then you bring your semicolon. Okay, now explaining how this grade work. For here now, if the score of the student is greater than or equal to 90, the grade should be A. That is for people that score A's. Then, but if the score is greater than 80 or equal to 80, the grade should be B. If the score is also greater than 70 or equal to 70, the grade should be C. If the score is greater than 60 or equal to 60, the grade should be D. Or S, it should return to F. If none of the students score
Okay, it's like a network. I've logged him out. Moses, you raise up your hand. Let's quickly use this opportunity to attend to you.
Before he jumps back, I believe it's network issue. Moses has been raising up.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah, welcome. You came late.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I actually did something too.
Okay. So, okay, just quickly
Okay.
share for us since.
Yes, sir. So the solution what we made here is a solution to student score, to define their score actually.
Yeah.
So over here we're using an if statement. So which means if the score is greater than or equals to 90, should return A. Else if the score is greater than or equals to 80, should return B. Else if score is greater than or equal to 70, it should return C. Else if the score is greater than or equal to 60, it should return D. Else return F. So that's just what we did here.
Thank you. Mr. Ifeanyi, I think he has turned back.
yes, I'm back. I'm very sorry, sir.
Okay, just quickly share.
Yes.
We're just
Hello?
we were engaged with someone else.
Okay.
Waiting for you. Just quickly conclude your explanation so that we can move forward to the next app.
No.
Okay, I think you are.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I'm very sorry.
you completed your explanation, right?
Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, we can. We can. Go ahead. Go ahead now. Go ahead. I thought
almost.
Okay, just conclude. Let's move
on. Okay, now where I am is if none of the students score the above score, the return should be F. Then, for instance, now some of all these scores now have a decimal number. That is where we now introduce our float. Our float inside, we now introduce our float input. Abi, how will I explain this? That is where we introduce our float. For instance, a student score 90.2 or 90.3. So that is where our float came in. Then the grade should be equal to calculate underscore grade, our bracket parenthesis score, then the print, parenthesis bracket, then we had our grade, and how will I explain this, sir?
That
Okay,
one
I
is
think guys,
you were trying to use Python string printing, but the F is not there. The F will have come before the grade to show that you are applying Python string print. But anyway, you
no,
are past the message. Is there F? Maybe I'm the one not saying it very well.
F is here, sir. CF,
No,
F
the
is
last
here.
the last code, the last line where you indicated printing before the grade. But it's okay. It's okay. All right. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. Let's look at the next app, if the time
Okay.
permits us, because I actually wanted to cover 3 apps. And all these steps is to deepen our knowledge on how Python functions works. All right. So that is the solution. You see, the beauty of this is that when we get to the GUI, which is the advanced, though that is not within the parameter of this training. After this training, we'll just look at the advanced. Then, like I told us, that we will create GUI. That is what application interface, where all these outputs will be displayed like an app. But right now we are using terminal to verify what we are doing. Now, I want us to look at the next app, and then I will also start by communicating what this app is all about, which advise us that always understand the problem the app is going to solve. So the second app, let me use comments. So let me just say second app, or let me just say app 2, development. So what is this app all about? Now, how many of us, you must have entered a password, and then when you enter a password, or let's say you will have been given an instruction that your password must be up to 5 letters. And then if you try to enter a password less than that, the app will reply you that enter up to 5 letters. So which means that there is a program that is counting your entry or your input. And then after counting whatever you type, it will now, equate it to what the programmer must have created, that entry must be equal to what? Certain numbers of entry. So this app is tag, an app that can be used to analyze tests. So it will do a counting of tests. So when you enter a test and you want to know how many characters are in the test, for example, now Prosper has a 7 character. Maybe there's an argument. I want to know how many characters are in Prosper. So once I type Prosper, it will tell me 7. Any word I type, it will count it and tell me how many characters are in there. That is what this app. Remember, before we started, I said we are looking at simple app development. We are not looking at something complex. As beginners, we need to learn from this level. So let me also specify the task. What do I want this app to do for me? So this app define, like I said, the title of the app, let me put it here, is test analyzer. So the tasks are, or the steps you have to follow, define function. So you can see all of them are function related app. To count word and characters. So after that, take users inputs for tests, call the function, call the functions and print the results. All right, so you can see I have applied the flow charts. So now, remember, I will start by defining the function, and I will call the function based on what I want to achieve as what? Count word. So for those of us that have been using Microsoft Word, as we are typing, there is a place where you click that will tell you the number of paragraphs. So you now begin to know what was done at the background. So now, remember, this is going to take a parameter, which means that this is a function that will receive what? Input before it analyzes it. So I will create a parameter test because that is what I want it to analyze. All right. So once I've done that, the next thing I'm going to do, I go to the next line. And then on the next line, I will say return, once you take the test, return one of the function that I have explained from the beginning, learn. I hope you can still remember when we use what? This. So you can see as basic as this was then, you can see how we are applying it here. That is what? Return, learn, then supply the what? The parameter. That's what counts the tests. That is what that is going to do. All right. So that is where the function stop, but we have to now see how we can collect the user input, the test that will be counted. So I will now create a variable, call it what? Tests. And then I will say inputs. I will say input, enter some tests. Input, enter some tests. Input, enter some tests. And then print word. So we are using Python string printing. Print word. Then we have to invoke the function. Remember, we have to invoke the function with the calling words bracket. So what is the name of the function? It's just like what we just did. Word counts. Then what are we? This is where you are sending the input. This is where you are imputing the word that will be counted. So if you have been with us since yesterday, you understand word by word, the function word inputs. Right? So if you were not in that yesterday's class, please endeavor to go to our YouTube page at Digital Z Hub to watch that video, and then you understand some of the logic we are applying here. So after that, I will have to also print because there are two functions I want. One will count the text, one will count the character. So if I want to print character, so I can just say this, what will I put here now? Okay, print Python string printing, and then I will also say characters, then invoke the same words. So in this case, the one we created is for that is a function for okay. I'm still going to update the code because I've not created function for counting character. I have only created function for counting words. So let me just write this, then I'll just go up and establish a function for counting character. And the function is going to be count underscore character, cast. So yet to be created. So what I'm going to do now is where the other one stop, I'll go there and define a function def, and then the function name is count underscore, the same name that we just used now, cast. Then I open it. Then you supply the same text as parameter, and then go down, and then you say return len, because you also count it, return len, and then you are giving it what? The test. All right, so now that we have it, you can see that the error has disappeared. So now let's go there and verify what we just did to avoid outputting too many codes so I can focus on the one we want to verify. Let me take off this. All right, so let's run the code and get, that is telling us enter some text. So let me enter Prosper. So you can see it counted. How did they counted it? There are what? 7 words. Sorry, words. We have what? 7 of them. Now, if I comment this one out, since we have verified this one, if I comment this one out, so let's say I want to run this one, so I need to comment this print out, so it will remain just this. I'm wondering why it's saying this. Which of the tests? So over there and get what it's saying. Unresolved reference option. Inject language or reference. We have test, return tests, and then test equals to. Then we run it. You might still have error sometime where you run it to still run. So let me enter, let's say, Prosper. So it's return. What did it return now? What did I have here? Character function count ads. Do I have any meaningful results here? Okay. So I think we should just not getting meaningful results. So let me try this. I'm trying to verify something. So let me bring back this. I think this where we counted words. So enter more than one test and see whether I'm going to get what is expected. So welcome to Digitech Sale Hall. All right, so let me give us a few minutes so to replicate this. So the one that I've returned now, what I did is that I enter more than one word and see whether it's going to count all of them. So it's saying the word and the character at the same time. So there is no need for us to write this line of code. So just execute this. Just execute. Let me take off this first. And then take off this first. And then you run your code, then enter some text. Let's say what? We are back. So confirm this. We are back. They run, and then it counted what? 13 words. So it's a short function. So let me give us a few minutes to try it as well. And then we'll come back, let's say, the next 5 minutes. We are not writing much. So what you will do is, I think we're trying to duplicate the same function. So just write this, confirm it. The next 5 minutes, we come back. If there's still time, we look at this, the third function, the third app. So you can start now. Okay.
Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes. All right. So I think we are all doing well. The rest, who are the people that I have here that have not done? Okay, I think almost everybody here are active in the class. So Moses, you can send it. So I actually plan to cover 3 apps, but the third one is a bit more complex than the 2 that we have written. So we appeal that we look at that as the very first part of our next class, at least because that app might take like 40 to 50 minutes, depending on how fast, but because of the explanation. It's a calculator actually, but it requires a lot of explanation. So I will just stop here. So I will continue with that app development in our next class on Saturday, and then introduce the new topic, and then probably complete that topic on Sunday like this next week. So if you have any question, you ask. Your assignment is to go and see how you can come up with different story with what you want to achieve with the function, with the app we have developed. That was great. Your O can be that we are talking about business products, or maybe you are creating a price range, and there's a kind of award you want to assign to certain customers that purchase within a range of certain amounts. So you can use that first app logic to give us something like that as an assignment. So this one is actually solving grading challenges, but your own can be solving maybe customer purchase. So just formulate a scenario that you can use these concepts to, apply and get the solution. So that is an assignment for every one of us. So you should be able to come up with your own concept, what you are able to convert this logic into. And then if there's anything you can also do with this short function, fine. So all this that we have explained, they exist in most of those complicated apps, but they exist as different block of code that will probably sequence to give us those complex app communication that we see. So if there's no question, we draw the curtain here. Do we have any question relating to what we have learned so far, or you have any comments? Anybody? Okay, so let me assume that there's no comments. So I want to appreciate us for joining. Please continue to, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube page, like I told us yesterday, kindly go to Art Digitech Zeal Hub on YouTube. You'll be able to get us. And if you want to follow me on Facebook, where I also give updates on classes like this, you can search for Eguero Prosper. And then if you want to follow us on TikTok, you can also search for the same name, but separate them with dots. So here you put dots, here you put dots. Okay, Moses, you want to say something? Mercy, you want to say something? Mercy.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, this last task that I performed, I'm seeing we are back. I mean, on your own screen, and then the word is counting 13.
Yeah.
So why is it counting 13? It's not supposed to be 13. So
So
I know the answer, but I just want to hear from you.
the answer is that it counted the empty space.
Exactly.
Good. It counted the empty spaces. Okay, so like I was saying, so feel free to make sure that you follow us via our social media platform. You will do yourself a great favor, because I know that sometimes we come with random training. We give a lot of updates. Sometimes we might give it on our WhatsApp page. If you are not on the general WhatsApp group, please feel free to chat me and request to join. I know everybody here must have been there before we migrated us to the other group. So classes that are ongoing right now, that if you have anyone or you want to join, they are all master classes. Tomorrow morning, 4:30 a.m., a data analytics new started classes. Our class will start, though we've been on it. The class hold only twice in a week. Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., 2 hours. And then every Monday also 4:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m., just twice in a week. And in that data analytics class, you will learn how to analyze data with 4 different platforms or tools. Advanced Excel, Python that you are learning, but for data analytics, and then Power BI and SQL. And then another ongoing masterclass is cybersecurity that will also come up tomorrow evening by 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. every Monday. For now, it's just once in a week. We started last week and we have just established the foundation. Tomorrow we'll be looking at different cybersecurity evolutions. And then we'll look at how the technology that has been deployed so far down to the AI and the machine learning that we are using today. And another master class that is ongoing is on web development. Web development master class holds twice in a week, every Tuesday and Thursday, between the hour of 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Tuesday, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Thursday, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. That web development class comprises both front end and back end development. Then we have another data analytics class that is going on. That one runs Tuesdays and Thursday as well, between the hour of 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. twice also every week. So you can see that all the days we are live, offering one training or the other. So feel free to chat us up in case you want to join any of this session. The ones you can join, we will tell you. The ones you cannot join, we will also tell you based on where and the level they must have gone. We are planning to run another 2 days free data analytics training very soon. We are going to run ad for it. And for those of us that are already in the group, to be to your advantage. So just make sure you are there. Once it's announced, I'm looking for free space. Once I have free space, and then we make that announcement. We are also going to make an announcement for maybe 2 days graphic design or with Photoshop or CorelDRAW. There are some of these little short time skills that you need to acquire as a tech person to start making small money while you are taking your time to learn this long-time program. Because sometimes when you are not making money in tech, you easily fade out because it's frustrating. Somebody spend time and is not making money. If you are not making money, then sometimes it can be very, very discouraging. So please make sure you follow us. Tell other people about this platform. Very soon, this platform is going to, we are training most of our students from UK, US. So it's not only Nigeria. Most of the students across these classes that I just told you now, most of them are from. So like I was saying, please feel free to recommend this platform to your friends. And then anybody asking for a link where they can join or the link they can use, please feel free to chat me and I'll be glad to give you the link. Thank you very much. So see you next this Saturday.